Good morning, everybody. Michael Fielding here with the Free Academy, and it's time for some Bible study. Yay! Just wanted to talk about taboo and tradition and why people get their feathers so ruffled when you start questioning their religion, their politics, their family history. I think it comes down to defending the family hierarchy. So I've been thinking a lot about this. Why do people get so upset, And I think what they're doing is they're defending their parents' beliefs. Because, their parents raised them, they taught them everything that was good and bad, and they taught them this one book was good, this one book is the Word of God, and everything in there should be obeyed. And so when I come along and start questioning that, people do a little transfer and like, oh, you're attacking my parents. That's not what I'm doing. I could care less whether your parents were right or wrong about their religion, or their parents, or anyone but you, whoever's watching this video. That's who I care about. I'm talking directly to you, the viewer, and this is not an attack on any of your other familial relations. It's an attack on false beliefs. So yes, the Bible is inconsistent and contradictory. It makes no sense. It was hobbled together hundreds of years after the so-called events. And it's important in 2022 that we give that book up, It is holding us back. It's causing people to do bad things. Sure, if you want to read it through, take some notes, take out the good passages, the good advice. There might be a few things in there. Most of it a 5-year-old could come up with. It's not that complicated to be nice to each other. You really shouldn't do it out of fear of punishment or hope of reward. It's just being nice, Okay, and further on that, it's mean to let people believe shit that's wrong. Like, to go through their whole lives reading the same old book, going to the same old church. If you know they're wrong, it's mean to allow people to continue unquestioned. Now, I'm not gonna put up a barricade around a church or protest, but I'll be happy to tell you you're wrong, you're wasting your life. Read the book that you claim to believe, and I seriously doubt if you can come out still thinking it's the Word of God. Either that, or like I said in my last video, all the words are the words of God. Like the Quran, the Torah, 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. It's all the Word of God, if you want to go that route, or none of it is. But either way, that doesn't mean we can relax our suspicions. Because people will try to trick you. People love getting power over you, and one of the best ways is tricking you. One of the best ways of tricking you is to say, this book is the Word of God, pay me once a week so I can explain it to you, and come confess all your secrets so I can use them as blackmail. Okay, yeah, I might be too paranoid. That's very fair, but most of you are way too gullible. So what's the trade-off here? What's the bad of being too gullible, and what's the bad of being too paranoid? So I'll start with myself. Being too paranoid, I don't trust things that might be true longer than someone who's too gullible. So say a new idea is presented to me off the bat with no evidence and no reason. I'm going to say it's probably not true, or at least I have no reason to believe it yet. And that might very well be a great piece of advice that I should adopt instantly. But maybe because I'm so skeptical, it takes me 6 months or a year to work it out in my brain and figure out that, yeah, that probably is true and maybe I should adopt that. Versus someone who's gullible, you can be fed true things as a gullible person and adopt them instantly, and then have the benefit of putting those new practices into action instantly, rather than waiting like I did 6 months or a year to fully be convinced. Okay, so yeah, that's called a type 2 error, I believe, a false negative, where the thing is true, but I'm not believing it. So that's an error, and that's an error I make a lot because I am a skeptic, because I'm paranoid of getting tricked. So on the other hand, we have the gullible people who will take a piece of information and adopt it instantly without thinking, without questioning, without looking for evidence or reasons, or even comparing it to their existing beliefs. They just, oh, the authority figure told me blank, therefore blank is true. So what dangers are they encountering? They would have the opposite. They would have type 1 errors, which would be false positives, which would be believing something that is not true. So that's their danger. That's the danger of being gullible, is you might believe things that are not true, like the Bible. So knowing that there's these two ways of making errors gives each of us individually the option, which way do we want to err? There's no way we're going to get everything right. So we can either err on the side of holding beliefs that are not true, or erring on the side of not believing things that turn out to actually be true. Say like climate change. I have no idea. I don't really care, but I'm in the position of there's not enough evidence. I haven't researched enough. I have no idea what's going on. So let's say let's say in the situation that climate change is true, and I'm sitting here in a state of skeptical disbelief, that would be a type 2 error, a false negative. I would be incorrectly disbelieving. And then we could go the other way. Oh my god, I think y'all get it. I'm just gonna end it there.